Welcome back. Today we are shifting focus from the highways of politics and the noise of the daily headlines to the workshops, the labs, and the factories that will define our future. While many talk about Nigeria's potential, there are those that are quietly building it, one innovation at a time. I recently interviewed a young man who is leading an agency at the heart of Nigeria's technological and industrial aspirations. He's championing local manufacturing, engineering, and the capacity to build the future, and the kind of homegrown solutions that could transform our economy. He's the Executive Vice Chairman and CEO of the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, Mr. Khalil Suleiman Halilu. Take a listen as we dig deep into the future of Nigeria with science and engineering as the spine on which the nation's innovation are coming to stand. We'll be right back. All right. Good morning and welcome to the beam, Mr. Khalil.
Good morning.
Yes, it's a pleasure to have you once again.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're doing this second time because we have seen so much that has been done since the last time you gave us the feedback about the reverse Jaguar syndrome and all those things you've been pushing. So it's beautiful that we are here again so that we can know more about some of these things we have heard and we are saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, want to know how have they been achieved? Where are we going from there? Mm-hmm. So let's begin, you know, based on the premise that we are setting. Mm-hmm. Let's begin with some of these initiatives. You know, for instance, let's begin with the Green Job Initiative and some of those other things and how they are now making this economy become better. Let's start with that.
Well, as you are aware, yesterday your team was at Jaguar to witness the launch of our new CNG station, which not only does refilling, but it does conversion, it does training, and as well as reverse engineering. Now, CNG compared to petrol, you know, which is PMS, is about 80% cheaper, you know, and you know what that means for the economy. On an average, a Nigerian spends about 60% of their earnings on transportation, whether you're transporting yourself from point A to point B, or, you know, you're transporting goods, which is indirect, you know, cost. So bringing down that cost while you know, making the environment friendly by going to alternatives that, you know, doesn't emit carbon in our ecosystem, you know, is a welcome move. Yes. Now we have 4 of these centers. You know, the last time we had interview, we just had 1, and you know, like we promised yesterday, we intend to replicate it in every state in the country for the benefit of Nigerians.
It's beautiful that you have brought that. There's so much more that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria has been battling some of the security challenges. Then we see a move from NASENI that says, hey, we're partnering with the defense ministry. We're going to the aeronautics and we're going on. What's this drive? Where does it lead us from here? Because we see something like the aeroplane that is about to be made. And, you know, some people might have doubts. Why don't you have a doubt? What's fueling it? Why don't you have that doubt?
Well, I think you are talking about our helicopter. Not it was about to be made, but you know, it's already has already been assembled, and we're looking forward to launching it very soon. And of course, you know, we have drones, unmanned aerial vehicle, for various things, for security, you know, for agriculture. And recently, you saw our outing with the Chief of Air Staff. We have the NASENI Center of Excellence, where we produce sophisticated defense equipment, and really. If you want to tackle security challenges in the country, so you have to begin to think of building some of these components locally, and we have successfully been able to build, you know, tools and equipment, you know, for the Nigerian security outfits. That visit, you know, was just, you know, to commend NASENI for the efforts and to seek more support to scale, you know, the prototypes we've made that have been tested, and the army were very much you know, satisfied. But security is local, just like logistics, and we have to produce some of our security gadgets in-house.
Yeah, it's good that you said security is local. In fact, we're coming back now to the local. The president is saying, hey, Nigeria first policy. What can Nigeria give Nigeria? Basically, you know, how is NASENI now the one at the fore of this push when it comes to do it Nigeria, use it Nigeria? How has that drive been, basically?
Well, no matter how sleepy or tired I am, once you mention the Nigeria First policy, you know, it awakens me, because I feel like this is a strong policy, you know, for NASENI. You know, whenever we go out of the country or even within the country, we're trying to attract investment to partner with people. The thing that they always say is, how is government supporting us? But now with Nigeria First policy, Mr. President has made it clear that anything we're producing locally should be given priority, and it is now a law, So that chicken and egg situation where investors are asking for policy before they invest, and we're asking them to invest before we make the appropriate policy, has been solved. So now they are, very much assured that once they produce things locally, it will be prioritized.
And you think the market is ready for what we are producing? Because people have been saying, oh, do we trust the products? Are we really in that place where we can say the standards have gotten to that level?
Well, I can comfortably tell you that Nigerians consume more Nigerian things than any other thing. Look at our food. I don't know how many times we've eaten, spaghetti bolognese or shawarma. But regardless of what people say, I think we need to also highlight, the positive aspect of it. Nigerians are very local. When the president dressed to go for international conference, I think even when you look at African presidents, we are amongst the ones that always wear local things, from our JC. We're really proud of, ourselves and our culture. So, once we are able to make products that speaks to that, patronage shouldn't be an issue.
All right. You are a champion celebrated champion for innovation in Africa. And one of those things I know you've been trying to do is to see how Africa can unite to be a front in which we are piloting our own innovations. Where are we on this drive?
Well, recently there was the West Africa Economic Summit, where we made a presentation as NASENI to make an offer for technology transfer across board, starting from West Africa. The truth is our problems are very similar, and so the solutions are going to be the same. What works in Nigeria maybe need a very little tweaking. Even the the broken English, it's Sierra Leone and Nigeria, Ghana, they're very much similar. So before colonization, we are the same people, so our problems are similar, our solutions will be the same. So that's why we are pushing for, constantly harnessing our potential together and leveraging each other's, strength, so that we can tackle challenges together.
All right. One of those things that comes with innovation and the problem that I don't think is locally Nigerian is that sometimes it's just the urban areas that get to see how visible these things are. How are we bridging that gap between the urban and the rural such that everybody understands that, hey, as we're moving as a nation, we're moving as a people. How are we bridging that gap?
Well, there's a reason why it's called urban, and there's a reason why it's called
the
rural or suburbs, And anywhere in the world, there's a city and there's a town and there are the villages. And not to say one is better than the other. Some people prefer living in the towns or in the villages, while others, prefer living in the city. But the key thing is everybody should have basic infrastructure, right? I remember there was a startup that does food delivery in the US, and they have two arguments. One said, okay, people in the city, they don't have time, so they need food to be delivered. And the other said, people in the suburbs don't have options, so they need food to be delivered to them from the city. So both of them are right, depending on how you look at it. But the key thing that we need to focus is let the urban and the rural have infrastructure. So if I have internet, we should have it also in the rural area. If I have water, at least the basic ones. The density should be the differentiator between the urban and rural, not what do you call it? Not facilities.
Okay, let's go back to, because I know you're a man who doesn't have so much time, so I'm trying to make sure I get as much as I can get from you, right? Let's go back again, to one of those very big hits the first time you were on our program, the reverse Jaguar. How well has it fared so far?
Well, if anything, people have been asking us to expand it, so we're applying for a big announcement soon, where we have innovation challenge for Nigerians that are locally, and for people in the civil, public service. One thing we keep forgetting is we have one of the best talents in the public service, but your agency cannot advertise for a challenge and then you apply as a public servant. So we think we need to do something that we remember them and we also encourage people in the public service. So we have that program. We also have reverse JAPA, and we also have the dream makers, for the young ones. So yeah, while people are doing DB Nigeria, we also need to come up with something around innovation to be able to boost that.
You keep prompting the questions, because some of these things I'm saying are not even what I planned. It's good that you said it. There's so much emphasis on entertainment.
Yes.
But somehow it seems like we neglect the science and the technology, the engineering of it. And it's beautiful you're bringing these initiatives. How much more need we do? How much more do we need to do?
Well, we have to make our innovation entertaining. I think that's my logic. Nigerians, we like to flex. So let's put rhythm and some colors into everything that we do, and I promise you, it will be a really good one.
We'll be taking a break now. You're watching The Beam, a place where the old is reckoned with, the future is interrogated, and the power is held to purpose. Stay with us. We'll be right back.